Hello and welcome. Right then, we're going to get stuck in straight away. Let's get cracking.
So I just had to pause it 1 second, just checking that it's recorded. Yeah, these ones where I miss a session and miss, it's usually when I'm tired. I normally try and check that I am recording straight away. So we have done everything, I believe. I believe we have, and we've checked everything in here too. Yeah, that mega roll is amazing, and obviously it can do lots of different things. Again, we've got the mulcher built into the ridiculous stomach. These are what I'm going to seriously miss on day one, and that is the fact that all of the fantastic mods that we've got. It's going to be all base game, and yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some beautiful tractors, very expensive, and without the sales, that's going to be a real. There's the one thing in. There are some nice ones as well. There's a lovely Massey, which I think is the starting harvester this time. That's nice. Not a bad sized hold as well, which I was quite pleased with. Let's just check anyway. Let's leave that for FS25 when we start with that. Yeah, so that looks fairly good to me. It does. Water. I didn't do any water, but you can see we really don't need to. No, it's even though it's red, this is more than enough to actually do that. We could do one now though before we quickly go to beddy buys. I think it's probably not a bad idea to do a water run. Let's borrow. Yeah, there would be at least like chuck one of these in a day, and then it's not too bad. Fill at the same time as well. Then that's all good. That's 40 tons a day really going in. Right, so then let's go to sleep. There's nothing else for us to do. We set our canola. Oh, when I say we'll not be checking the canola oil right now. It's usually tomorrow. It should be yellowish. The butter's perfect. Sorry, the sugar is perfect. And the canola oil is 1984 December, so it's not at its best at the minute. Sunflower oil is strangely enough, it's yeah, not far. It's top price, right? Let's go to sleep till. Yeah, I'm expecting this to go bang because we did a shed load. I don't even think the SSBs will do all of that, but it's interesting. Let's have a look how much is in there. Just have interest so you can see just how beastly that is. It is amazing. So how much? I've only got 15 tons of silage in at the minute. That's because it's the yeah. This is going to be the bottleneck really. That is even when I say that though, it is brilliant. Yeah, I mean the bread is 63 tons of flour, 9 tons of yeah. It's a little bit slow on this. That's only 4752. So we're probably going to end up with a lot of flour left. Do we do one more upgrade? I think we will. Yeah, it's not too bad. Still, we've basically got the best equipment in there, so we've not needed to do that since. That's about keeping abreast. Although I need to see whether that's all. I think we might need to upgrade that as well. I think that we can now cope with 32 tons, and that's what we've got in. So that should do all of that into everything, really. So 16 tons, yeah, really, it should have absolutely nothing left. It should do all of the things, everything now. It should do that. That should do 6.5 tons of bread. It will obviously get rid of 12 and 13 tons of flour to make 6.5 tons ish of bread every single day. So it's not even upgraded. The equipment's the best it can be, and yeah, I mean that's the other thing I find. I mean, you could get really good ovens and stuff like that, and we're not making flour in there, which I know that would really push it a little. We know that, but it's not. So 1784. This is capable of doing 792,000 liters. So that's at least 2.5 months worth of that. So we are definitely staying. Yeah. Hang on, did I? So I confuse myself when I'm chatting. Yeah, no, we've not gone through. Right, so sleep through till 9 o'clock. and we will have a look at the sales over my morning newspaper. Yeah, I do like this. I've made this into quite a feature. I mean, a lot of people make comments about, oh, we've never seen anybody do that before. No, I don't think anybody does. But I've made it into quite a feature of all my life. You're not kidding. Nearly 6 mil. Right, so this is the month where you get nothing. The lights are on, I can see them. The floodlights, amazing. Let's grab some water and fill it again, because we're not going to fill 5 million litres anytime soon. Right, those lights are on. Grab. Yeah, so we're sort of going full pelt now. Right, the one thing we do want to do though is get us overload. And then we need to grab the thing that's the slowest of all is the slurry. This is even though it's got a big capacity, it's very, very slow. It's not been augmented in any way. Flow rates are not super duper. So we've got to like literally fill it up probably before we do anything else. I think I'm going to time lapse this, because this is where the session could get a bit. If we have to go through 2 or 3 months, it slows down quite a lot. So I'm going to do a time lapse for this little section, I think. So I'm going to say my words, and we'll see you guys and gals on the other side. Right. I am coming out of tarmats now because that's just oddments. It won't process that. It'll just tick down sort of quite slowly and like take that. So we'll class that as done. That was the thing that was left to do really was that for producing this silage from the straw. That's now done. So we could go on forever. We could make probably 500,000 every single day in propagation. Our businesses are that strong now. But as far as I'm concerned, we've finished because we've done everything that we need to process, really, although we're talking about minute amounts now. Bread, we're going to knock to not selling anymore. We will have sold like in the night as well. So we've got flour. We haven't processed the flour. That's the one poor thing, but it does take 6.5 tons. That's another 5 months. So we'll class the flour as it's a good earner, the bread, but again, you'd have to wait till next December to get the max price. So we're going to class that as we're just selling the flour. It's still a good price. This is indeed, but we're calling it now. So really, the other thing we've got to do is we have got a lot. Just for cashing up purposes, we would leave the sugar really. But I know we don't need to do that. I keep forgetting. Time saving stock check saves the necessity to do all that. The one thing we have got to do though is if we I just like to save the game now. If I ever wanted to come back to this, I won't, but it's just one of those. At least it's a point in time that I can go back to without having to redo the entire session. We're now going to sell the animals because it's part of the thing that I always used to forget because they really are worth an awful lot of cash. Well, the other ones definitely are. Yeah, I mean, it's like 336, yeah, over 450,000, nearly 500,000, and that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of cash to not do it. So we just also the fields. I'm not going to sell them, but we are going to top this up as well. I think this is probably for the size of the farm. We've only been here an additional extra year, I believe. Yeah, so we start on one. We've done 2 years, but the first year was when we were small. We've done one solid year where we've done very, very well. I think I'm quite really well pleased that our herd was up to 480 and yeah, 426,000 left in things, and that's not really including the fact that the flour would be turned to bread and would sell. The sugar is we'll class that as well. Yeah, the sugar we'll just keep that in that. We'd have to sell it to know that it's worth that. So 426 to add on, nearly 500,000, and our fields are worth how much in total, roughly? 121, 161, 261, 261, 321, 321, 421, 468, 468, 528-ish, 28, 578, 584, 650. Oh, did we own anything else? No, 650,000 to add on to the total as well. So that is, this is where I often go wrong, 650,000. So is well over 9 million. That for a solid year's work from the animal. And the main powerhouse behind that were the animals. Yeah, I can't forget all of the players. The production shed, the home broods, even this remote time, this little bit is, yeah, I mean, it did as well. I'm proud because of its size and all the rest of it. I keep forgetting it can do the flour, but we'd already got the specialist, the farmer Jeb, so I say we could go on forever with this is still up to, yeah, I mean, we've been taking 100 odd tons. That shows how 480 cows is really seriously we kick butts. The home broods, obviously the farmer Jeb's got a massive impact. But Rawley Christie for this beautiful still, I've probably been very dumb in that I've never done that before. Again, I have said this. I'm very slow to cotton on with something, and when I get those eureka moments, I'll run with it forever. and I'll remember. So I'm a sort of slow learner. When I learn, well, it's been the pattern of most of my life, is that particular thing where I'm a bit of a slow learner. Yeah, yeah, there is a bit of a story to tell, and I will tell it. I don't mind sharing a little bit of personal information. When I was in infant school, they'd almost given up on me, but my teacher was really good, and I think they thought I was almost remedial because I couldn't grasp how to read at all. And then my teacher didn't give up on me and spent some one-to-one time, which is quite rare. There were no TAs when I was a kid, so it was the teacher spending time. I think there were assistants though, because I don't remember Miss Salt actually sort of doing it, but she may have done, and it might have been also a helper as well, but it was not a TA in the truest sense. I'm sure it was Miss Salt. I'm sure they didn't have that. But basically, she spent some time, whether it was after school or during dinner, I can't remember what it was. And in the space of a couple of weeks, I got it. And after that, I then actually, within the next year, I overtook everyone else at reading. I'm not bragging, I'm just literally telling a story. Because I'm not that kind of person. But what I mean is I am one of those type of people. I don't get things sometimes, and you can think I'm a bit sort of thick, but it's not. It's not that. When I do get it, I get it. I really do. My brain's sort of quite good at seeing through systems. I systemize things. Also, I rush a little, which gets me into trouble, as I'm sure you're all aware. So, what I'm trying to say is thank you very much for putting up with me. But yeah, because I'm quite sure a lot of people, I didn't get all of the storages, and that probably worked all along. I could have put the additional water storage, but obviously that's the piece of the resistance in water storage 5 million litres, and it's so very reasonable and typical of fashion. So probably would have worked all along, and I could have done much better, because it's the only fault you could ever find this was the fact that the water used to run out when there were 500 like animals, especially animals. That addresses that issue. And then Holy Christus, this is my favourite of all, but that the fact that it ran out of water put it into second place. But to be honest, that's probably because I've been a little bit dumb and I've not done storage before. And if I had have done that, then this would have remained my number one favourite. So Holy Christus, this is my favourite again, because finally I can't on to the water storage bits. Yeah, so that's it's back in pride, a place where it always has been. It's a beautiful bit of kit, very reasonable, because it's not like the most expensive. It's not made of brick or anything like that. These metal sort of encasement bits, still very reasonably priced. The people who put it up are very reasonable, but it is a cracking, and probably in my first opinion still do love the Chumpy Farm one as well. Chumpy Farm or Chumpy Farm? I'd like to get my names right. Let's just quickly look. This had sort of become my favourite in the interim. By Chumpy Farmer, I was right. I shouldn't have doubted myself. Yeah, I love that as well. It's a cracker. You do need to chuck your food and straw to for ages. That's the thing that is a little bit annoying about it. But then again, it's also its strength. So, but again, this really is my favourite, and I've got to put Chumpy Farmers down to number 2 now, with that being as it is, because it's the fact that you have to put so much stuff in it. It's sort of like, now this is balanced, it sort of eclipses that just. They are both my favourites, as in so much. Yeah, I'm not trying to set Ludicrous against Chumpy Farm or anything like that. They're both real crackers, and they stand out to me as the best, in my personal opinion. And we've all got reasons why we like something else more than something else. I'm not expecting anyone to agree or disagree or whatever. We've all entitled to our opinion, aren't we, really? That's what I'm saying. So, we're up to well over 9 million when you sort of sell all the fields, and we're not including things like the fixtures and fittings, sheds and stuff like that. I'm disappointed in this, not the sheds. The fact that, this, as I said, this one wouldn't go in. This one, you can sort of slant it in because of and it will sort of fit in, sort of. And it isn't not a really pretty shed. This can have everything but harvesters in it, really. Little harvesters will fit in, but big normal size harvesters will not. Yeah, the fact that this sort of slants up like that is really totally. I mean, they aren't at their best. I would have been better to put them. You can't do it. Obviously, I'd have had to put them slanted ways to match the gradient of the ground for them to work properly. So yeah, I'm really disappointed with them. Not the sheds. I'll just reiterate that the way that I've done it, it sort of tarnishes what would have been a good farmyard because it's sort of that ruins it a little. They are really good sheds. Oh, see, that is definitely the end. Massive shout out to 1 second. Let's get the farmer's name up because I am not leaving this without mentioning the farmer's name. Yeah, massive shout out to all of the modders really. Rawley Christie and I can't always remember the. Yes, it's Also, my names are all going sort of funny. Right, let me just search for the farmer's name. We are on. Right, there we go to maps. That would be the easiest way for me to do this on the mod hub whilst we are. Yeah, I realised the sound goes as well. I've got a little bit of patching to do. One the other day, I went off and I'd forgotten that if when you go off, the sound goes off. So it was just I went off and said I'm going to go. FS Landscaping. Yes. Who? Let me just see. I know FS Landscaping. Chipping Norton. Yeah, the original one. Yeah, that's where I know FS Landscaping. He also did Balham Road Dairy Farming. Mr. CDP did a Let's Play on that. But yeah, the sound come back now. See, I'm back in. Yeah, so FS Landscaping. Beautiful map. I love everything. It's very, very authentic. A couple of the only issues we had, which again I don't particularly care. You've got to like smooth a little bit, or the entrance to the fields over here, field 83. It was quite severe, and so was 74. I had to sort of build it up a little because the equipment tend to drag on the entrance. But when I'm not complaining, as Mr. Silby often says, which I agree with his sentiments, I'm only explaining. I'm just sort of saying if you were expecting perfection, I don't think there's any map made where you've got to not do something. That were the only things that were not quite right. But let's face it, all of these fields, it's probably 2 or 3 fields of the entire lot that you need to do a little something. It's not a lot, really. It's a game, so it's not ruined my playing on the game at all. So, yeah. Right, so this is me signing up for the very last time on Ladyhill. Yes, all that remains to be said is thank you very much to you, the viewers and subscribers, for putting up with me and for watching. Yes, so the last time I'm going to say goodbye for now.